when you ain't got no money. Your foreign cars and all the bitches.
I know one of your most recent personalities on your podcast, Holding Court with Big Court, the podcast, tap in, tap out. Bob James, bro.
Yes, sir.
We on this snitchuation conversation. That's a word out phrase I coined. It's not personal with you.
For sure.
But it's obvious to everyone Bob James has a very pertinent situation. I'm just curious, did you have the courage, the integrity, the interest to ask him any hardball questions?
I did.
I'm curious, do you feel comfortable discussing his responses? Because we can cut this out if you're not comfortable.
No. Right. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Well, let me start by saying I like James. You know what I'm saying? I consider James I don't know him super personally, you know, for a super long time, but the time I have known, I like James.
Rest in peace to Country Out and Black Jesus, Timmy Rue.
Yeah, so, you know, and again, as I said before,
I don't mean rest in peace to Black Jesus, Timmy Rue. Shout out to Black Jesus, Timmy Rue. Rest in peace to Country Out. Go ahead.
So, you know, I like James. So, yeah, he came to the Hold the Court podcast, and we'll be releasing his shit soon. And, yes, I did ask him. I did ask him about the situation with FG. You know, that's the only snitching allegation I know about, you know.
Did you just hear FG speak on it, or have you been aware of FG present any type of evidence? Have you seen anything that might convince you one way or the other, or you just heard FG say it?
Well, no, I heard FG say it, which FG was compelling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, and I told James that. I said, hey, FG, I don't know him, but he seemed like a solid nigga.
This was on the podcast?
This was on the podcast. Okay. I said he seemed like a solid nigga. Like, why would he put this on?
Shout out to FG.
You know what I mean? And James, you know, he gave me his rationale of why he thought and where it was coming from. You know what I mean?
Which was,
you know what?
Wait.
No, because what I wanted, because this is what I want. Okay, I want them to go see it.
Okay.
I want them to go see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yes, I did ask him the hard questions.
He was convincing to you, even in his response?
Convincing. I don't know if convincing is the word. If I can be very honest with you, bro, I think because I don't have all the information. I'll be very honest with you. I don't have all the information from James. I haven't researched and seen all the information from Alex Alonzo and FG. So I can't intelligently really draw a conclusion.
Your personal experience through our environments, does it cause you to have a personal disdain for rats? Or do you look at it objectively?
No, I don't like rats, bro. Okay. I don't like rats. But see, it be them little, like,
gray areas.
It be them little gray areas, you know what I'm saying? Because I think nowadays,
because what do you do when you get
rat,
on first?
Hold on, the term rat and snitch has been watered down. They throw it around so loosely, so you got to kind of be like, you got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me see. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that way with the paperwork concept.
Yeah.
Because they got you now, like, me and you could be in a police car. I could watch you tell the police. Whisper.
Exactly.
Now, if I don't have no paperwork, you're not a snitch.
Right.
It's like they didn't, this whole like public scene and took the, they didn't took the goalpost and put it in the line.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when they say it, it is what it is. But you can't just go off of that. You can't. And I'm not a nigga. I'll be honest. I'm not a follower to where just because somebody say something or a lot of people say it, I just follow
on the bandwagon.
I have to do my own research and figure out, come to my own conclusion.
So regardless of how compelling the general shit seemed on the internet with Bob James, you feel like he deserved a personal audience to speak for himself.
Yeah, and the interview, to be honest with you, that I did with James, we only talked about that a small portion, to be very honest with you. I didn't want to talk to Mob James. I wanted to talk to James McDonald. So I interviewed James.
That's real journalist shit.
You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So we got into, it was a heavy conversation. We talked about what created Mob James. You know what I'm saying?
Did you talk about his affiliation with the Kitchen Crips?
Yeah, of course, Was it? Yeah, it was Kitchens. Yep. And his upbringing, you know what I mean, and him being abused and him not
abused. Now, that's a very peculiar word.
Yeah.
By whom? Male, female?
Well, emotionally abused by his mom and physically abused by his stepfather. You know, like beat abused. You know what I'm saying? Which in turn
I think we typically underreport.
Yeah.
And we are reporting abuse.
Yeah.
Physically only. It might also have ventured into the S word.
Maybe.
I mean, why would you? I mean, who? Just think about it. Who talks about getting abused physically from our environment?
Well, you got to think about it. Well, let me put it in context. To be very honest with you,
Somebody touched us.
I think
got touched.
You say what?
He got touched.
Who, James?
If he was abused, on the neck.
Nah. But
if you was gang banging at 13 and you claiming abuse, you were touched. You was riding bikes from Piru Hood and Compton.
I don't know about
to
that.
go as a Piru. According to him, he was going to go hang with the Kitchen Crips.
Yeah.
As a young teen, gang bang.
I don't know about that.
I know, but
let me tell you what he said.
Growing up, I was confused. My mama kissed.
Yeah. Let me tell you what he said. I mean, the interview, it was a heavy interview, and it was more about. I mean, you know, he dropped tears in the interview, and I think it's more about him just
behind some physical abuse as an adolescent.
Well, no.
Or sexual.
No. I think more
about what?
No. I think more about the fact that he didn't receive love from his mother. I think that was the hurtful thing, and the fact that
fuck
he never,
all that, cuz you do not get to be Black Jesus, Timmy Rue brother, Country Out brother, Mob James the gangster, and get to crying in your 50s and 40s on the internet about lack of love from your mama. That don't work, bro.
Let me tell you why. Though.
He's a gangbanger.
Hold on, no. That's the thing.
His bad.
No. Let me tell you.
Mob is the first thing you hear. Mob.
Let me tell you, and I'm glad you said that. The thing is, he's not that anymore. That's why he's.
He never was.
That's why he's feeling them emotions. Because you know what I told him? I said, because his spirit was heavy, and I said, you know what it is, bro? You become civilized. So now what happens is you're seeing all the shit you've done and all the things that you don't feel like that anymore. So now you're civilized. You're looking at, you running shit through a civilized filter now. Now you're thinking like a civilian, and now you're appalled at a lot of the shit you did and what you stood for and all of that. So I think that's where the evolution with Mob James and James McDonald is coming in.
My nigga Big Court, cuz I love the politician in my nigga, cuz.
No, real shit.
No, I love the way, the position you take, because anybody ever wore a wire for them peoples, cuz it's fucked them forever.
Yeah, see, I don't know nothing about
I do.
I don't know.
Shout out to FG.
I don't know about all of that.
Shout out to FG. We know what really happened, cuz wore a wire. So anything gangsterism about him that I would choose to respect outside of that, I gotta throw it out. I don't give a fuck. Cuz wore a wire. I admonish you to do a little more investigating on your guests.
Yeah, I didn't know about all.
He all bad.
Yeah, but again, I didn't want to interview Mob James. I wanted to interview James McDonald. You know what I'm saying?
That's a challenge that I have to start putting upon myself to separate personalities, because,
and to be very honest with you, like, I'm the type of nigga, the same way I've been able to navigate LA since I've been out here, right? I think, and I've said this publicly, I don't know FG, but that nigga seemed like a 100 nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I've said this publicly.
Likewise.
Right? He seemed like a 100 nigga.
Thanks for checking out this video clip of the Factz Ova Feelinz podcast hosted by Spider Loc. If you want to check out the entire episode, visit your favorite podcast platform. We're available on over a dozen platforms, including iHeart, Spotify, Google, and Apple. And wherever you decide to listen to the Factz Ova Feelinz podcast, make sure you subscribe, rate, share, and thanks for listening to another episode of Factz Ova Feelinz with Spider Loc.